Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for Quick Tip Thursday. This is Nichole with Topaz, and today's topic is about soft and dreamy styles in Topaz ReStyle. It was actually a question that somebody asked on Facebook, and we kind of ran with that and decided, that is a really popular look, more romantic type of style in portrait or wedding photography, more stylized in fashion photography. And with ReStyle, this is a new program if you're not familiar with it. It includes over 1,000 different creative styles to explore and apply to your image, but it can be difficult to really track down some presets that are going to be great for this type of look. But it does have many soft and dreamy effects or kind of hazy effects that are great starting points if you want to apply this look in your lifestyle photography. So today we're just going to explore those styles in ReStyle and kind of customize. I'll show you the tricks that we have within ReStyle where you can immediately get a softer image. All right, so let's take a look at some before and afters really quickly. Here is the original image and after. We definitely applied a whole new look, but if you'll notice, it's almost glowing because it has softness around those edges. Okay, this is after, and this is before. And this has some very high quality transformations. If I zoom in here, I just want you to see that it does have a softness about it, and the detail has a little bit more softness, but it's still a high quality transformation. This one is a high contrast hazy look. It does have much softer edges, but it's kind of difficult to see that because of the higher contrast. But you can get really cool looks within this program very quickly. Let's see here. This actually was both ReStyle, and then I took it into Lens Effects, so I might go over this if we have time. This was to give you a much more of a kind of mystical, misty type of image versus just softer. And this is the image where we're going to start off with. Here's the before and after. Absolutely much softer. I did keep the girl's eyes in focus, and I'll show you how to do that with our masking tools, but altogether much softer around the edges. But this is more of what the question was pertaining to, more traditional, dreamy, kind of romantic, soft, hazy look that you can apply in lifestyle photography. So let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this background and go into Filter, Topaz Labs, Topaz ReStyle. If you want to check out the introduction to Topaz ReStyle, please feel free to do so on our YouTube channel. It is posted at this point. It's youtube.com/TopazLabs. Today is specific to this particular topic. All right, so when I know that I want to apply a certain type of look, there are certain ways I go about it. I know that for this particular image, I still don't want a very crazy transformation of tones. I'm really looking for the softness factor and something that might give a little bit more warmth. So I would start out in the portrait collection and then go into the actual grid view by clicking on this icon on the presets panel area. When I do that, it's going to pull up all of these different portrait styles for me to choose from. I can scroll down, and anything that might kind of tone-wise or either tone, or if it has a really nice haze, something that just catches my attention, I might click on that. So I like this warm tones contrasted. Just going through. This kind of has a hazy effect over here, but not as much of the warmth I want. It's going more towards the tan, but I'm going to click on it anyways just to check it out. As I keep scrolling, just going to click on the ones that just kind of stand out to me. And as I'm going down, I'm kind of thinking to myself, I'm not clicking on a lot here. I'm not seeing a lot coming through. This is when I would use some of our other search tools. Ooh, that's nice, sweet shears. Okay, this is when I would come up to the keywords and possibly write in maybe haze. So, or actually soft. We'll do soft. As I type in, it's going to bring up different images that have soft within the keywords. It's either going to be within the name itself, within the keywords, within the default, or in the information behind the scenes, keywords, description. It's going to look at all of that, and if it sees the word soft, it will pull it up. And automatically, I'm starting to see something that has a little bit more of a haze. I like the soft pearl. That's nice. And scrolling down. I like that salmon pink veil quite a bit. And that gives me an idea to look for the word veil. So let's go look for veil. All right, that's nice. I have some haziness coming through here. I like that soft sienna veil. And maybe I'll look up the word haze too, just to complete this. All right, I have light coral haze. I like this bridesmaid white and purple. I'm going to click on that. I'm clicking on these little cameras to basically say, I want to take a look at you later on in this workflow and look at you separate. So now that I have all of these checked, if I want to take a look at the ones that I have checked with my snapshot, I can come up to this folder that has the little camera icon in it as well. Click on that, and it'll only pull up the ones that I've actually marked and turned the snapshot icon blue under each one. So I'm going to get rid of some of these non-hazy ones that really are adding more contrast because it's not really necessary. But I'm going to show you a trick back within the other interface where it really doesn't matter if it adds contrast. I'm kind of just working with the tones. But all right, so we have these 8 that we're starting off with, and I like them. I really like this fading apricot puff. I think that might be a good tonality to kind of start with that softer, or the bridesmaid white and purple, or even the sweet shears. That's really nice too. But I want to check it out on the full image. So I'm going to X out of this grid view, and I'm going to come over to the right of the word presets on the presets panel and look at these icons, the same icons that I have in the grid view. Click on that camera icon, and there I can see all of the different ones I've selected as well, and kind of see how they're applying to the whole image. I like to go through it like this. I think I'm going to start off with this fading apricot puff and see what happens. Currently, it doesn't look great. To me, it looks kind of just like it's looking through a haze. And one thing that you need to definitely know about when you're trying to go for these more softer looks is the blending modes for this program. The blending modes are going to be your great friend because you can come over to the blending modes, and it's going to be the gradient icon to the right of the opacity slider on the ReStyle. It's on each module, so it's on the ReStyle module and the basic module, but we want to work with the blending mode on the ReStyle module for this one. I'm just going to scroll down and see what happens as I scroll over these different blending modes. And so what it's doing is it's blending the affected image with the original image. And I can see maybe I like something else other than the sheen that it's kind of giving me. And I kind of like that color quite a bit. I'm going to click on color. Here's before. Didn't change too much, but it just gave me a little bit of softness. Let me come in just a little, or actually not that much. Give me a little bit of softness. Here's before and after. Just kind of feels a little bit more romantic, I guess, with the different tones coming in, and I did want a little bit more of a warmth. So now I'm going to come in and show you the other trick within this program. We have a structure slider within our detail area. The structure slider is going to either add or take out a localized contrast, which, when you take it out, starts to soften up the edges because of the type of technology that you have within this particular setting. you can come and do the larger image features and just soften them up. So I can increase it or decrease it. And as I decrease it, I start to get a softer look about the image. Here's before, here's after, and here's after detail, or the detail adjustments, before and after. Now below that we have a sharpness slider, which you can also take to the left to soften everything up, or if you don't want to have that if you want to keep the sharpness, you can leave the sharpness alone or even increase the sharpness, which I'm going to increase the sharpness just a little, and still have a softer feeling about this image. So that is kind of the trick to know about those blending modes and the detail area. Now, really quickly, I'm going to add in a little bit more contrast that I lost within the taking out the localized contrast with my tone levels here, taking down my blacks and taking them closer to black. Midtones, I'll take just down, well, I'll actually leave that right about there. That works. And I'm going to come up to my temperature and tint, maybe take my saturation up because I still want to keep a little bit more warmth and a pop coming through. Maybe take that temperature towards the yellow just a little bit. Perfect. And here we are. Here's before, original image, and after. I get a softer edged image. You can tell here, and in the background, before and after. Now when looking at it at 1:1, I don't like the fact that her eyes got quite hazy here, so I'm going to come into my masks within the, actually I don't think it's this, I think it's the mask within the basic module that's actually creating this. I'm going to click that on. Maybe I'm not. There we go. All right, and I'm just going to use the Edgeware brush really quickly at strength 100. Take that brush size down, the hardness way down, and just paint back in her eye area without having to worry about, I was on the wrong brush, without having to worry about going into her face. So I can quickly do that. I might do that at a lower percentage if I was taking my time here, but we are already at the end of the 15 minutes. I will answer the questions coming through, and as I answer them, I'll work on the other images. But I do want to just press OK and show you the before and after real quick. All right, here's before and after. All right, thanks everybody. If you have to leave us, have a great rest of the afternoon. If you can stick around, I need to answer these questions that have come through. Gwen says, I never know which mask to use. Is there a rule of thumb? Absolutely, Gwen. Let's go ahead and take in, let's try to get kind of more of a vintagey softness with this flower image. I'm going to take out just get a background copy here. New background copy of the original image, Topaz Labs, Topaz ReStyle. If I want to take out the color style and the texture adjustments, I would use the masking module that's attached to that ReStyle tab, that main ReStyle tab. If I want to take out the basic adjustments that I've done, so my detail, tone, or color adjustments, then I would use the masking tool that is attached to the basic tab. So that's really the rule of thumb. It's just selective masking. Now if you have a mask in ReStyle that you want to apply to your basic mask, you want to just kind of copy and paste it, we have that available in ReStyle now. It's this little copy and paste icon. You just click on that within the basic module and you can say, give me the ReStyle mask, and it will apply. So let's take a look at this one really quickly. For this, I wanted a more, a really warm kind of vintage type of look. So for that, I'm gonna start off in my nature and go into the grid. Just kind of look around for some hazy, orangey type of styles. So desert dust maybe, golden puppies. It's kind of a funny name. Okay, afternoon snack I kind of like. I'm just scrolling through these pretty quick. I like the Sunset Rampage quite a bit. I like that Dawn Giraffe. That's really extreme, but you can work with it within that blending mode, remember. Treehouse I like. Okay, let's see what I got. I think I'm really looking towards this Dawn Giraffe, so I'm going to click on that. Here's before and after. It's definitely not soft yet and doesn't really have that softer, dreamy type of feel. So I'm going to immediately go into my detail area in my basic and take that structure down. And again, just to show you the difference here, here's where it started, and I'm just taking that down, getting a lot of softness around those edges, around the large image features, which is really what I'm looking for. It kind of gives that diffused look. If I want to keep my sharpness, I can. I'm going to go 1:1 so you can check it out. I can increase the sharpness, which is the small image features, or I can even take that down and get a very soft image. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my sharpness way down as well. I'm going to come into my ReStyle now and see what or ReStyle area and see what the blending modes would give me. Maybe a different type of, I'm going to come down to fit. Ooh, I don't really like that. You can get more contrasted images with softness playing around with these blending modes. Luminosity. Ooh, I really like color again. So here's before. Here's where we're at now. Last thing I might do is come and play with my tones just a bit and the color within my basic module. I might take that saturation down just a little. Just to kind of give it a washed out effect, but still a really warm effect. I'm pretty happy with my tint. Maybe take my temperature a little towards blue. All right, here's before and after. Definitely much softer as far as the detail goes. Let me show you that. Here's before. This is the original detail. And much softer. All right, let's take a look at some of these questions. Douglas says, love to know how you did the Misty Forest scene you showed at the beginning. Sure, I can show that right now. Elizabeth says, I did not understand if the soft style is a part of ReStyle or a separate program. Yes, that's what I'm doing right now, is creating this softer style. Now, what Douglas would like to see actually use two programs. So if you have Topaz Lens Effects and ReStyle, you can not only get a softer type of feel, you can also get a foggy, misty, kind of mystical type of feel as well. So I'm going to press OK and show you this last before and after once we get back into Photoshop. And then I'll end the session with a quick walkthrough of that workflow using the ReStyle and Lens Effects programs. And I was able to create, here we go. Here's before, this is where we started. I then took it into ReStyle to immediately get this. This was I didn't soften it within ReStyle actually. This was just a one-click transformation. It's so cool, this program, what you can do with these programs. And then I went into Lens Effects and added a diffused fog effect. So let's go ahead and start off with that original background, and I'm going to make a copy, go into Filter, Topaz Labs, and Restyle. And really I'm wanting, so here, this is cool. Here's before, here's after. It's what we actually worked on our last image. That actually looks really cool. All right, I want a kind of darker, I was looking for more of mystical dark or kind of something that has some gloominess to it. And so what I did, I didn't even go through the different, I can't speak for some reason, the different collections. Thank you. I just opened up the immediate collection where I was, went over to my keywords and started typing. So I wanted something dark. So let's take a look at anything that might come up dark when I type this in. All right, so I have 16 presets that are going to show up immediately, and I can click on something that I might like. I kind of enjoy this cool gray. This phthalo green and iceberg is kind of cool. I'm going to click on that. Ooh, the ghostly redwood is quite nice. And the dark ecru. Maybe the dingy attic. I can look for other keywords as well. Maybe I look for gloom. I do know because I actually named all these presets and did the keywords for the default ones, that gloom is a part of this keyword search. So that's just a quick little tip for you guys if you're interested in finding kind of gloomy presets. So gloom, kind of like that oil spill. I might choose a different preset here. Swamp and swirl. All right, now I'm just going to take a look at what I have going on. And I'm going to X out of this and actually look at these snapshots over here on the left in my presets panel. Oh, I don't like that as much as I thought I did. Okay, let's see here. I do like that ghostly redwood though. I think I might turn to that one instead of the one that I chose before. Oil spill, actually very cool as well. Dingy attic, nice. Swamp and swirl. I think I might do that one too. Cool gray. I believe I did the dark ecru for the previous one, but I think instead I'm either going to go swamp and swirl or ghostly redwood. I think I'll do swamp and swirl. It feels like it's going to have a little bit more of a feeling that I want. And I'm just going to say, okay. So very quickly, I got to see my image in all kinds of different styles, but I ended up going from this really bright fall, beautiful colored day to more something that has a little bit more of a style and, well, not more of a style, but just a completely different style, more somber type of forest ground. Now I'm going to make a quick copy of that one and take this into Filter, Topaz Labs, Topaz Lens Effects. Head on into my fog filter. And I'm just going to check out some of the sky fog presets that I have. I'm going to go back to fog 1 because that's where I want it. I really want to get this top part super foggy. So fog 1 is where I'm going to start out. I'm going to open up my fog adjustments, take my amount up. That's going to increase the filter effect, so make that fogginess just really get very thick. I'm going to take that region size, maybe I'll leave that region size right where it is. The transition I'm going to take down just a notch to kind of take it away from my foreground. The angle I leave it at 180, so straight across. Diffusion, very important when it comes to fog adjustments. Without diffusion, it doesn't look real. So here I've taken all the diffusion out. Look at all the detail within my fog effect. It's It's not realistic. To get that realistic fog effect, this diffusion slider is amazing. So with just slight fog effect that you're putting in, you'll only want a slight amount of diffusion. If you're putting in a really heavy fog amount like this, just take that diffusion up to where it starts to look realistic. Right about here kind of works for this. I am going to change my effect position because as I am working here, I realize that the fog is actually not up at the as thick up at the very top than it is a few just a bit down. So I want to make sure it's covering that top part. So I'm going to click effect position, make sure to click very close to the top here. Now I know that it's starting from the top. I'm going to take my region size up. There we go. Transition down. Aha! Here's before. Here's after. This is actually much thicker than the last one. I might take that amount down just a... No, I actually kind of like it. Okay. I'm going to apply this and quickly jump into my warmth filter just to give a little bit of coolness to this. I like that. Here's before, here's after. Let me show that one more time. Here's before and after. And I'm going to be okay with that. Definitely has its own style for sure. So we started out here. And with ReStyle, we achieved this look with one click. And with fog, or with lens effects, we were able to add in realistic fog and a little bit of coolness. All right, everybody, that is it. Quick Tip Thursday went a little long as always, so I apologize about that. But I hope this gives you an idea of how you're able to quickly achieve a natural type of softness that you might want in your lifestyle photography. Again, here's before and after. It's a very popular type of an effect, as well as more stylized effects that you can very quickly get within ReStyle as well. Here's before, here's after. Much softer, and you get a more completely different style to it. All right, everybody, thanks so much. Bye-bye.